Leandre got the juice. Leandre got the juice.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Let's go, everybody. Welcome into the show. Appreciate y'all for tapping in today. Let's go. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. It's a Monday morning. Let me fix my camera real quick. Doesn't look like I'm centered. What's up, Urban Essence? What's good, girl? How you feeling this morning? How you feeling this morning? Can y'all hear me good? I know the crowd loud. Y'all calm down. Y'all calm down. Take it easy. Take it easy. Take it down a notch, man. Take it down a notch. Listen, appreciate everybody for tapping in. Urban Essence tapping in. See Bama, I see you. Good morning, Alabama fans. Let me go live on TikTok real quick before I get into the segment. This is not a live interactive show today. This is a live for VOD cuts. I will talk with you as you tap in, but we definitely going to be pushing through. We have about an hour and a half with you all. An hour and a half with you all today. We're going to get some topics. We're going to get a topic out for discussion today. And I think a lot of people are going to be excited to have this discussion because one, it's a solid topic. Hold on. Coach Smook morning show. All right, so we going live on TikTok right about now. There we go. We live now. All right, so today's topics, we should have a lot of good conversations. What's up, Latoya? Good to see you. Latoya, wear a wristband. Go grab one of the wristbands. UNC Bama, y'all grab them wristbands. We got some quality content coming up next month. And if you're not a member, you're not gonna get to see a lot of it. So, $2.99 to get you in the door. If you're not a member, if you're tapped in right now, you're not a member of the YouTube channel, or you're not a subscriber, a paid subscriber on TikTok, please take an opportunity to join the network. We're going to be putting out some private content. I just had a few phone calls yesterday with some universities, things that won't be able to be released to the public. I told them about my perks and things that I provide access to my community, and they were okay with doing scrubs of everything that I put out for the community. And so be excited, be happy that you have a content creator that's really dialing into the things that interest you all. And I know you all will I know you all are ready to get into the talks and know the knows for Alabama football, and that's what we're going to do for you all. So tapping into today, like, share, make sure you subscribe. Don't forget to check out our Coach Smook merchandise. I don't have it on the shirt. I thought I had on my gray red letter lineup shirt, but don't forget to check out the red letter lineup. Our sponsors and partners, Yon Clothing Apparel, we got those guys, man. They listen. If you're not checking out the Yon apparel yet, and I've already tagged it in multiple posts, all you gotta do is go to my social accounts and check out all of my regular posts. You will see Yon urban streetwear. And then also shout out to Men of Standard Executive Security. Shout out to all of the athletic programs, high school athletic programs that support us and allow us to cover their players, teams, and programs. We're just grateful to be here on this beautiful Monday morning, sitting here at the 7-minute mark, going into the 8-minute mark on the show. We're going to jump into this topic of conversation to get into the show, man. And I think y'all are going to enjoy this. So without further ado, let's get to it, chat. I'm ready to see it. Y'all ready to see it? Let's do it. I'm with y'all. Let's go. All right, chat, let's get it. Let's get it, chat. Let's get it. All right, today we're having a topic of conversation. This is a topic that I kind of touched on last year when we first hired Kalen DeBoer. When we started pulling the staff in. What's up, MJ? Welcome in this morning. And this is a topic that I make this projection last year before the first snap, before the first practice. And I made this projection. Now I want to go find this video. I was supposed to find it already, but I'm gonna pull it up while we're talking about it. And it's a video that I did back last year when Kalen DeBoer got hired, and I started looking at how the staff was being assembled. Right? I was looking at how the staff was being assembled. I was looking at how, coaching history, philosophies that come along with Kane Womack, the philosophy that came along with Kalen DeBoer, the philosophy that came along with Nick Sheridan, the play caller. Even though he was basically running Kalen DeBoer's offense, he still had his own, I guess you can say, play calling philosophy or style, right? So we're looking at the situation now, and we're sitting in this positive situation with coming off a 9-4 season. Maybe let's be honest. Disappointment to most of Bama Nation. We haven't had 4 losses in a regular season since 2007. 2007 was the last time we had 4 losses in the season. Last time we had 3 losses in the regular season was 2010, I believe. 2000. No, might have been 10. It might have been 10. No, might have been 13. I can't remember, chat. Y'all help me do some fact checks. But other than that, just as a fan base, I think we were kind of disappointed. Turn around and then we go into this offseason. We secure number 2 rank, or well, number 3, ended up being number 3 ranked recruiting class after the final rankings came out. But then you also retain a talented roster. This roster, talent-wise, is ranked. And somebody said 2010. Appreciate y'all for the fact checks, man. AAA family, appreciate y'all for tapping in. Big Bama, Big Homie, 334, Rod, Daquan. Daquan was on that 2010 team. He remembered. Shout out to my brother Daquan Menzie, man. Hey, Daquan, dang, I don't know if you seen the news or if you've been tracking back home, bro, but we'll talk later. I don't know if we, yeah, 2011 was a natty year. But I don't know if you heard the news, man. I'll tap in with you. If you got the same number, I'll text you, man. One of our classmates, brother. And I think this would be a shock to you, just like it was to me. And they plan on doing something huge for them in the area. So I'll let you know, bro. Good to see you too, man. Appreciate you for tapping in. Shout out to the Big 23 on YouTube. We got a lot of viewers on Twitter. Let me go to our Twitter feed. I see the notifications popping up on my phone. That means people are tapping in, viewing. So right now on Twitter, we got 34 people tapping in on Twitter already. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. And then we're on TikTok also. If y'all have not seen our TikTok channel, go check it out. We got some vibes over there on TikTok. Not sure what the viewership is over there, but we here. Topper 08 Harley, appreciate you for pulling up on TikTok. Thank you for being here. Now, I had this take last year, and the take was simple. It was simply saying, I truly believe that the University of Alabama, right, is and Greg Byrne, watching Coach Saban do what he did in the first era of that dynasty, that dynasty, the Saban dynasty, the era under Coach Saban for Alabama football. I look at what Coach Saban did, and he really in year 2 started from the top down. Everything that was within his control that he basically had to oversee and manage, he aligned like-minded philosophies, concepts, personalities, right? A lot of the structural beliefs that were in that locker room, the reason why you were able to set a standard and it was able to be, I guess you could say, pass through or flow so freely, was because you had everybody who had something important to say or was given the responsibility to have something important to say or to be impactful, right? They had the same mindset and the philosophy going into this. And I look at the 3 main characters from each staff. I'm gonna get into this conversation, but I kind of want to build it up, to talk it up, to get more people in and let them have a conversation. But you look at what Coach Saban and that staff did, right? They came together, they got a solid recruiting class. This is back when you actually had to get out and recruit. You had time after the season, right? We know college football is 365, but recruiting was different back then because you actually was able to end the season, have your end of season meetings with your players and stuff, project, and you actually knew what your roster was going to look like before you stepped back on the recruiting trail. Well, now with portal, NIL, and things of that nature, you don't get that same leverage. So Coach Saban went in on his staff. He got a lot of young coordinators on a lot of young defensive-minded personnel on his team that were good at making relationships, creating relationships, spearheaded by the one and only in 2009. Let's go to 2008. 2008. We're talking about year 2 under a new head coach at the University of Alabama. And I'm trying to get you all to see the comparisons and the relatability of how Coach Kalen DeBoer's tenure is starting, how Coach Saban's tenure started, and the type of results that he was able to produce by sticking to his process. And I'm here to say this. I see a lot of similarities. There may be 2 different eras. There may be 2 different, maybe some different, I guess you could say, obstacles and things to overcome when it comes to retaining players on the roster, getting in the portal, recruiting, all of these things. There are new nuances to the game and new hurdles to hop over. But I think Kalen DeBoer has taken a page out of the blueprint from the GOAT. I think he's taken a page out of that book and he's put it to use before he even called the first game or had to coach the first game at the University of Alabama. And the reason I believe these things are, and I'm gonna go on get into it, but I want to also open the chat up for conversation. If you're on TikTok and you want your chat, your comments to be seen, I encourage you, first of all, to come over to YouTube like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's absolutely free to subscribe to the YouTube channel, but also drop your comments in the chat. We got the chat rolling on the screen. You can see your comments as they pop up. Let me jump in the comments real quick before we when you was there during that I don't know if you remember me, but you used to hoop at UA Daquan. Hey, if you was on the court with Daquan, how many times did you get fouled, bro? How many times did you get fouled? I tell you this, Daquan Menzie does not know the difference between the basketball court and the football field. All right, that's a fact, and I stand on that. And I will hit anybody up that grew up with us that was at Faith Middle School that year. When that man, he booms, man, and we was all partners. Daquan was just, he was relentless, man. And the same size he was in 7th grade, he was the same size he was in college. He was the same size in middle school. Maybe like 160, but the same size, same dog, always been different. Anyways, new Dynasty. Speaking of that, man, even that, Coach Saban was able to go and get Daquan Menzie out of JUCO, right? And you saw his development. Didn't go to the league and just go crazy, but ended up being an unrestricted free agent, undrafted free agent, signed, I think, with the Panthers first, or was it the 49ers? He was making waves in that camp, man. He was making waves. And I think he was at the Cardinals too. But I look at how this staff is recruiting. I look at what this staff, how they place guys in position to have advantage in recruiting. And this is starting to feel a lot like 08, 09, 2010 vibes following this new DeBoer era of Alabama football. Let's get into some of the facts of this, right? So Coach Saban, we all know, came in 2007. He basically retained or collected a staff. He didn't pick a staff. He collected a staff, right? Let's look at some of the facts of this. Let me go. Alabama's 2007. Alabama 2008. My fault. 2008 football staff, and we all know Kirby Smart was the defensive coordinator, first year D coordinator. Coach Saban went out and got Jim McElwain. Jim McElwain was the reason why Coach Saban even took a step towards going to like Steve Sarkisian and Lane Kiffin type of coordinators, guys that wanted to spread the ball out, because we all know Coach Saban comes from the old school mindset. Defense will win you games. If my defense can control the game, I feel like I got a better chance. If my defense can dominate, I feel like I got a better chance. Well, Coach Saban also noticed that the SEC was such a run heavy, like anatomical size, a big conference. All the teams in the SEC were bigger than the rest of the country, and he started noticing, like, when it came to cross conference matchups, anytime we go to the Big 12, we were getting dog walked as far as points put up. The offenses were we were going 3 and 4 into our depth chart, right? 3 and 4 deep, because guys were getting tired. So you go and you get an offensive philosophy that matches that, but not only just the offensive philosophy. You look at the conditioning of your players on the staff, and you go and you revamp your strength and conditioning program. Something that's different, a style of strength and conditioning that's being tested. And Scott Cochran, I want us to give Scott Cochran his credit. He really started to revolutionize the way that you train at the University of Alabama. But also, we saw college football just kind of take that and mirror it across the country. You had programs like LSU, Georgia, that were, strength and conditioning programs. You saw the difference on the field. Well, when Alabama started showcasing that people were able to keep up with us physically after that 2007, 2008 span, right? You saw the fourth quarter program and Scott Cochran really amp it up. They ramped it up, right? I like what Baloo is doing right now with the strength and conditioning program. I look at guys that's coming back from injury and the type of springs that they had, and primarily Jalen Hale. The type of confidence he has after coming off a leg injury like he had last year, you have to credit the strength and conditioning staff. I was at Southern Union 08. I transferred to Bama Spring 10. I came in when we won the title. Classes were canceled the first week. Good days. Facts, right? Facts, man. That's what's up, brother. But So I look at the strength and conditioning program that Kalen DeBoer is housing and what they're breeding. You look at guys stepping on campus as early enrolling true freshmen showing up at 165, but then when they suit up for the first spring, 3 weeks, 4 weeks later, they're 175, 180 pounds, putting on 10, 15 pounds of muscles in a 6-week time span is crazy work, right? You have to be motivated to do that, not just going and being dedicated to the work, but being motivated to do it, because gaining weight is not hard. I mean, it's not easy for small guys like me, slim guys like me. So you gotta think with the young guys and all that high metabolism, keeping those guys focused and I guess you could say locked in, on task, right? You have to present a product that's attractive to them, that's appealing to their nature. And you get that at Alabama in their strength conditioning program. So staff, back to the staff. We go out, you see Coach Saban get Jim McElwain. And this is the only difference, or I guess you could say the difference between the staffs. Coach Saban is a defensive-minded guy. So a coordinator that he went or retained and elevated to the DC position was somebody that literally shared his same thought process, somebody that he had a long tenure with. Him being a defensive mind and being the head coach, he wanted a guy that could call the primary thing that he knew 110% about. He wanted somebody there that could take on that job and mimicked or resembled the same style, philosophy, thought process that he did. Kirby Smart was the closest thing on that staff, and we saw him thrive. We saw him thrive as defense coordinator. So on the other side of the ball, though, from the defensive-minded head coach, you have Jim McElwain. First season as a play caller in the SEC or at the Power 5 level, anyways. He comes over to Bama, and his philosophy is totally different to what Saban wanted at LSU or had at LSU. It's totally different from what Saban had allowed to transpire in 2007 when he first came in. McElwain comes in, revamps the offense, shapes it up, and it what is it? It balances the defense. It complements what the defense wants to do. It complements how the defense plays the game, right? I turn around and I look at this. I look at the situation with Kalen DeBoer. He's an offensive-minded guy. Last year, he didn't get to bring his coordinator with him, but he did bring somebody over with Nick Sheridan, somebody that was familiar. Not necessarily the play caller that he wanted, but was able to do the job. He was able to manage, input where input needed to be. But this year, going into year 2, what Coach Saban did year 2, he went and set it up like he felt he needed it to. Kalen DeBoer has done the same thing. He brings in Ryan Grubb. Ryan Grubb is somebody that knows his system in and out. It was the play caller that led him and his staff to the national championship. That helped them get to the national championship. Appreciate the 100 likes on TikTok too. Y'all done tapped that screen 100 times already. We want to get to 1K before the end of the stream. So please continue to tap that screen for your boy over there on TikTok. But what I was about to say. Okay, Kalen DeBoer goes and gets Ryan Grubb, somebody that he's familiar with, offensive minded, brings his guy so he can manage while the guy that knows his system and understands how he wants the game to look or his play calling style to look, he's up there calling plays. Now he has a more open line of communication with the guy he's maybe not as familiar with and needs to be communicating with, which is your defensive coordinator / assistant head coach in Kane Womack, or assistant coach in Kane Womack. I look at Kane Womack's philosophy. I look at both philosophies. Kalen DeBoer's offense philosophy, how he wants to call the game and how Ryan Grubb wants to dial it up. You look at Kane Womack, this is a defense that creates a lot of turnovers, right? When you have a tempo, vertical pass game style offense that is really going to feed off the RPO looks, a lot of your perimeter run game, this is the type of defense you want. You want a defense that can contain and force turnovers. That's exactly what this defense did. So Coach Kalen DeBoer goes out and get a defense coordinator with that type of philosophy, but not just the philosophy, but at every stop, Kane Womack has also had the familiarity with Kalen DeBoer because they were at Indiana together. And both of their philosophies after leaving Indiana went to multiple stops and had great success. Most recently, Kane Womack at South Alabama. If you look at what South Alabama is doing with Coach Applewhite down there and that staff, that they're continuing to build up, and that they're South Alabama is gaining a lot of the attention from high school recruits because one, where it's at in Mobile is actually nice. First of all, it's close to the coast, it's close to the beaches. You not far from New Orleans. Like, college students can go and have fun near Mobile. I won't say in Mobile, but near Mobile. You got to be careful on certain parts. That's anywhere, I believe. But You look at what Kane Womack established and left behind at South Alabama to take the opportunity to come, South Alabama, and to come to Alabama. You look at the opportunity he took advantage of, and he's still rolling over the similar results. It took him about 5 weeks to really get the team in a spearhead together, right? And to get everybody on the same page, because you had a lot of concept changes and language as far as play calls and what was being thrown on the field. Shout out to the Big 31 in the chat on YouTube. Don't forget to drop a like on the stream. But the play calls were changing, the language was changing, everything was changing. And we saw this team end up being a top 10, top 15 rated defense. They were top 15 in all of your efficiency stats. As bad as we feel like this team played last year, this team ends up in the top 15 of every major defensive efficiency category. Nuevo, appreciate you for tapping in. Make sure y'all tap that screen on TikTok, man. We got to get those likes up to 1K. We keep that streak going, the 1K streak on TikTok. We're going to be doing something great. YouTube, I appreciate y'all for being here too. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So, are y'all, I know everybody's kind of just chilling, listening to me talk. It's not really much to respond to right now. But give me a comment in the chat if you're like jumping on this train with me, if you're seeing how this is starting to transpire and become similar to what we were experiencing during the Saban era. A lot of us didn't get to see the first era of dominance in Alabama football. We weren't alive, right? And during the 80s and the 90s, Alabama wasn't necessarily dominant. We've always been relevant, but we weren't necessarily dominant. We won in 92. I think we should have won in 99, right? Had some good teams. 01 team was a solid team. Then we had the 6-year drought, and then Saban shows up. 01 was a talented team. They just didn't put it all together. And then I think people forget, man. 2006, Bama, I think, had 10 wins that was taken from us. Was it 2006? 2005, Bama had 10 wins vacated. So the teams were good. We were still pulling talent. What's up, Just Quan on TikTok? Tap that screen for your boy, man. Tap that screen. Give me 50 taps and then come tap in on YouTube, bro. We live on YouTube. We need I think we need 46 more. We just got a new subscriber while on stream. We need 46 more subscribers to get to 3K, chat. 46 more subscribers to get to 3K on YouTube. What's up, Zach? Yes, Rob. People don't remember the dark ages. I consider my early childhood the dark ages of Alabama football. Not my early childhood, like my teenage years. From 2000 to my junior year, from middle school. And Daquan, to tell you, I was one of few Bama fans on Fort Bend in Georgia as a kid. We used to walk around Fort Bend in Georgia, playing basketball, meeting up at the youth center. I had at least one Bama shirt. Y'all know Bama apparel we didn't even have access to team apparel back in the early 2000s like we do now. You can find team apparel everywhere in the state of Alabama now. Back then, you had to go to Walmart, Kmart, or actually go to the store, the apparel stores. Now it's everywhere. So living in Georgia, being a Bama fan, I got to see all of this dark age stuff. But when Saban showed up, as soon as he showed up, man, that first season, after he lost to UL Monroe, I remember some things happening, and I did not understand it at this level now, but going back and thinking about it, I remember things happening in the media that were happening. I remember a few coaches started getting less time, as far as like you started seeing them being spoken on less, right? Reporters weren't getting access to write in the paper about what was happening at Bama just as much. In 2007, please don't talk about the Dennis Francione era, please. We're gonna act like that when that didn't happen. Stop. Don't even do that to yourself, Just Quan. Appreciate you for tapping in over here on YouTube, man. Hopefully you got that subscribe hit, man. Hopefully you subscribed over here. Appreciate y'all for real, man. Y'all are some solid people, man. I really rock with y'all, man. Everybody that's been hanging out with me for the past 2 months that's been coming through, and I know y'all busy. I know a lot of y'all busy, but everybody that's been supporting, I see y'all comments after the lives when I'm out here editing and stuff. I see the comments pop up. I just choose not to respond because I just want y'all, I want y'all to see how much y'all's interactions in those comments matter. That's what people want to hear. They want to hear me and or they don't want to sit here and hear me talk for 2 hours and then respond to me in the comments. They want to talk to you all. Y'all want to talk to each other. Talk to each other. Talk to each other in those comments on these VODs. But circling around, so we see staff similarities, right? We see staff similarities. You see Saban, you see Kalen DeBoer, right? Mindsets, straightforward guys, personality-wise, straightforward guys. Not all about the hype. Really just want to do their job, do something that they love. Then you go and get guys. Do we have an energetic defensive coordinator in Kane Womack? Do we have a no BS, I'm hip, but I'm also that dude coordinator in Kane Womack? I'm gonna put a poll in the chat on YouTube. I'm gonna start a poll in the chat, and it's simple: yes or no. Is Kane Womack Alabama's new Kirby? New Saban Kirby? I said Saban Kirby because Kirby at Georgia is a different Kirby now. That's a clone. So is Kane Womack Alabama's new Saban Curry? Would y'all be opposed to giving him a little leniency and saying yes? I mean, just a little leniency. Let's get a little bit overhyped now. Let's get a little bit of let's be a fan for like 2 minutes. Just like we saw the defensive secondary last year grow. We got crazy edge rush talent, right? You got interior guys that's growing up. You got the linebacker core, experienced linebacker core. You got some guys in that room that look like some of the old school guys that Kirby developed in Rolando and Foster, and who else was in their early stages? Hightower, Upshaw, all them guys that got developed in this system under Kirby. I think Kane Womack is doing some of the same things real early, and then he's killing it in recruiting. Justin Hill was a knockout, like a home run hit for this class. And the reason why I believe Kane Womack is able to establish himself in the recruiting space or in the recruiting on the recruiting trail is because he has guys like Robert Gillespie, Jamarcus Shepard, Freddie Roach, and a GM that knows the game and how to evaluate talent in Courtney Morgan available at his, to assist him. Lee Bay, what's good, family? What's good, baby girl? She said, what's good, AAA family? Kirby or Jeremy PSDC? I like Kirby. I feel like Jeremy Pruitt. All right, Jeremy Pruitt was OG, good. He was good. I just feel like Kirby never got out coached. Bama players maybe got outplayed sometimes, but I don't think Kirby ever got out coached. Can we have that quick discussion? Bama family, Bama people in the chats, on all our chats, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. Do y'all feel like Kirby Smart ever got out coached as a defensive coordinator at the University of Alabama? One, he always had, Coach Saban. I mean, this man literally breathe, eat, and sleep football during his tutelage of becoming a coordinator under Coach Saban. Once he became a coordinator and Coach Saban started to force him out into like making him flap his own wings, Kirby Smart was virtually unstoppable, chat. TJ Moore, what's good, man? TJ Moore, he over here talking about the Ravens. Why you spamming, TJ? You ain't got to spam, bro. Calm down. You ain't got to spam, trust me. We'll get your comment. Appreciate you for tapping in on TikTok, though. But, so think about it. Can I get some? MJ says facts at Bama. Kirby was never out coached. Auburn 2010 and Oklahoma 24. That was offense, bro. That was offense. I mean, defensive players getting ran over. 2010 was 2010 Cam year. Nobody stopped Cam. What was 2014? Bowl game, right? 2014 bowl game, or no, 2014. Yeah, 2014 was bowl game because the playoffs hadn't even came around yet. 2015 was first year playoffs. I'm talking about like the games that really nobody was stopping Cam that year, 2010. Let's be for real. Who was going to stop Cam in 2010? Exactly, Quan. Like we wasn't even, and that's the year before he left. That's the year he left, right? Or was it 2015? Kirby left in 15, right? After we lost to Ohio State. It's going to be hard to keep him after these next couple of years. Oh, Kane Womack is probably going after next year, man. Not this season, next year. People are going to see this defensive coordinator. He started 3 true freshmen on his defense this year that ended up being, percentile-wise, production-wise, accounting for high percentages of your production on the defensive side. You brought in a whole new staff of defensive coaches that you had no previous tutelage with, or from the season you had no chemistry, and this is what y'all produce. Now you're recruiting at this level that you're recruiting with. Kane Womack, it's going to be hard to hold on to him, and if he stays, it's because he just genuinely wants to stay. That's what it's going to be with a lot of staff members. I think Greg Byrne is looking at this situation, and this is the type of staff that he would want to keep together for at least 5 years. At least 5. That's a long time in today's day and age. So I'm right there with you, man. Right there with you. Lee baby checking in on TikTok too. I see you, baby. She must not be trying to go to work today. Or she pulled up to work. She about to walk in and work. Shout out to you, man. Yes, Kirby left after our first championship in the playoff era. I thought he left after the loss. Well, my timeline's messed up, but y'all know what happened. Y'all know when it happened. My timeline's messed up. But golly, that time is flown. Doesn't that feel like it just happened? But then when you think about it, from when Kirby left Bama to when Coach Saban retired, that was such a long time. And then from Coach Saban retiring to now, the time has went by so fast. It's already been over a year since Coach Saban retired. We've played a whole full season without Coach Saban as our head coach. Like, time is flying. That's why this isn't about football, but when I say cherish your moments, cherish your days, really embrace every positive thing you can, that's why. Time is just flying by, even in the good things. You think Coach Mo move over to DC? I think if Kane Womack gets picked up, I think we'll lose Coach Mo in that same year. If anything, I think the next major move for DC, because Bama, it's going to be hard to go and get a marquee name to replace Womack, right? When it happens, if it happens, if and when, I should say. I think we might see Freddie Roach finally get that job. I've been hearing a lot of longevity conversation with Freddie Roach not wanting to move, kind of staying put, having this stronghold here in the state of Alabama. If it had to go to anybody else on staff next, I would like to see him have the opportunity. And people think defensive coordinators have to know everything about defense to call plays. But a guy like Freddie Roach, who's worked at multiple levels, linebacker, defensive line, like coaching those two positions, that's more than 50-75% of what you need to be able to, scheme up to be effective in the defense, because your secondary playing off a lot of reaction anyways. If we're just breaking it down to the simplest form of putting guys on the field in position to be successful and play football. So I look at all of the things that are lining up about this Alabama new dynasty, the similarities between Coach Saban's early changes, what he did going into year 2, and I look at what Kalen DeBoer has done thus far, and I say there's a lot of similarities. We talk about the staff. We look at the running back room. Coach Burns was the running back coach at Alabama when Coach Saban first took over, before Coach G came in 2014, 15, I believe. Maybe after that. It was probably 2016, 17, right before Najee got there. So you got Coach G, who's in the running back room, dominating, and recruiting running backs. Coach Burns was doing the same thing. Huge reason why Mark Ingram even came to Alabama. Him and Coach Saban. Coach Burns started putting guys, setting them up for the league. See, Coach G doing the same thing. On defensive side, we started off with Bo Davis as the D-line coach with Coach Saban, right? Freddie Roach, guys that have impact in recruiting, and the most important part, in my opinion, the most important part of your defense, the front, in the trenches. Then you go look at the offensive line coach philosophies. Everything matches up on both sides, kind of like what Coach Saban did. And you got some staff members that go out and they just go get big names. They go get guys that just, if we get them, he'll get the players and we'll figure it out. Well, Kalen DeBoer, just like Coach Saban, really sticks around and trusts the process. I truly believe there's a process that's being trusted. And shout out to TikTok for hitting our 1,000 like goal on stream, man. Appreciate y'all for doing what y'all do. Shout out to our #1 tapper over there, our #1 like giver, Jacob, tapping in, giving us the most likes. He's the leader right now. Hey, what's up, Roll Tide from Birmingham, Alabama? Jacob, if you are not a follower on my YouTube channel, go to YouTube. We're live on YouTube right now. I know you see us on TikTok, but we're live on YouTube. Come and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 3K subscribers. Tap in over there on YouTube and you will be entered automatically for a prize drawing on May 19th, my birthday, doing some cash giveaways. So go tap in on YouTube, leave a comment, check in on YouTube, and I'll put you in there. Deborah, what's good, sister? Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. Any comments in the chat about any similarity so far that I haven't mentioned that you can think of that kind of makes you feel like this staff, and some of us didn't even pay attention. No, some of us didn't even pay attention during that Saban era, during those additions and subtractions, how the team was being structured. We were just watching football. I was one of those that just was watching football, but not this age, being in this industry. I went back and I watched the whole 2008 season of what I could find on YouTube. Started recollecting, started remember what happened in 2007, my senior year, when we lost the ULM. Right, all the ridicule I had to take, and then you look at how Saban started to change things. And then when we lost to Cam Newton, the year we lost to Cam, even that year, man, you needed, like, the only thing that we can say that used to get Bama during the Saban era. In the Saban era, you had to have that dude at quarterback. That was the only thing. Mobile quarterbacks with strong arms, they that knew how to extend plays and improvise. They were the kryptonite to Coach Saban, Kirby Smart, and that defense. That was a tough year. It was also a transition year because you saw what happened in 11 and 12. So I like where we are from a staff standpoint. Players, you look at what happened in that first year under Coach Saban, right? That first year under Coach Saban, you didn't have a Julio, you had some dudes on that roster, right? But they weren't those guys. They weren't the guy, right? Last year you saw some guys that stayed from the Saban era. They were good, but they weren't that guy. They weren't him. You got Ryan Williams, who's established himself as the spearhead of the new wave of Bama football, right? Kind of like Julio Jones did. Kalen DeBoer found his player, and he's finding one in each class. You got Ryan Williams and his group at Jalen Mbakwe and Xavier Brown. All those guys came in together. They have their class of leadership. We're the ones really setting the tone. That's what Ryan Williams and those guys. But then you got this 25 class, just like Coach Saban went out and got that second recruiting class after Julio and those guys. I mean, with Julio and those guys, his first full recruiting class was Julio, Mark Ingram, Rolando McClain. All those guys were there. He went and got these guys, and they were immediate impact players. They come back, and in 2008, we saw the run that they made. The chemistry was there. The staff was there. You had young players being thrown out that were day one ready. You would develop them in practice, in spring, in your fall camp, but then the in-game reps helped them. So I think about all of these factors that played into that Saban era that started off, and I'm starting to see a lot of similarities with Coach Kalen DeBoer. His philosophy in recruiting Shout out to Cam Calhoun for coming, the portal, the transfer corner from Utah. He posted something on Twitter about after there was the announcement that no scholarship players from Alabama entered their spring portal, right? None of them jumped in the portal. Portal's closed, it's done with. We didn't lose anybody to the spring portal, right? He tweeted it. Somebody came in from I guess they a Utah fan, somebody that was once a fan of his. You go and look at replies. They were glazing him while he was at Utah, and he hit the portal because their coordinator and everything, they had some switches on their staff. This guy says it's easy to say you're part of a brotherhood when you're getting paid. And I replied, I was like, some players ain't for money. Some players just see a system that they could develop in, and this is what the portal is. Utah's not going to give him an opportunity to really be looked at and taken serious if he's not going against top receivers week in and week out. You know what you getting at in the SEC? Right now, your top 10 receivers in the league, 6 of them are from the SEC. I think, or was it 4 out of the 6 were from the SEC? 4 out of the 10 were from the SEC. 6 of them had a tenure or a stop in the SEC. So you look at Cam Calhoun's decision to come, and you just look at the staff and the personnel, the players that's being assembled on roster. Look at the defensive line. Look at how we're shaping up our defensive line. Coach Saban was known to stack defensive linemen. People will wonder, why are we going to get 8 guys in this class? Why are we going after 9 guys, defensive linemen in this class? Because out of 9, maybe only 3 or 4 of them are going to pan out. And kind of left field, coming out of left field with this one. This is why I say the portal is a good thing, because you got situations where a guy is a dog. He just got on campus at the wrong time, or came in and didn't take advantage of that time and in place. After 2 years of not being able to see the field or getting moved up on the depth chart, or even being able to create value, I think you should be able to go into a portal without penalty. I think you should be able to go. I think portal entries should be limited to 2. If you're a junior and you hit the portal, you can go to your junior year, senior year, play, junior and senior year. If you feel like you need another year, you can request your 5th year, hit the portal. You can't come back to the same team. You got to hit the portal. Because now it's going to be harder for you to create value at the next level for yourself, right? You got to really showcase and prove that you're separating yourself. With 5 years, I think players with 5 years should have to be put on a different evaluation stance. When it comes to NIL, they should be the ones being capped, not necessarily the freshmen. Come on, man. Jacob 39 says, I know we better be a better team this year. Last season we was not good. How was we good and we was 9-3? 1 game out of the SEC championship, 1 game out of the playoffs. Really should have been in the playoffs. I think Bama fans forget that the 12-team playoff is supposed to go to the best 12 teams in the country. Not your conference champion, your 8-4 conference champion, or your 9-3 conference champion. The 12 best teams. That's what they said. When they made it conference champs automatic bids, that's what gave stipulations. And even with that, with conference championship automatic bids, I don't think the loser should get any leniency of getting the game just because you was in the conference championship game. A 9-3 or 9-3 loser of a conference championship game shouldn't be in the playoffs just because you played in your conference championship. So for all the Bama fans that keep saying that we had a trash season, no. We had a transitional year. Think about it. Even if we go to the playoffs, chat. If we go to the playoffs and we match up with anybody else in the playoffs that was in front of us, we was at 11. I think our matchup would have been, if they played it out right, I think the matchup should have been like Boise or Penn State or Indiana, something like that. I think it was Indiana we're supposed to be matched up against. We might pull out that game. How inconsistent we might win that game. They didn't have enough offense, I think, to test us. But then the second round, you go against a prepared Texas or Oregon or any of those teams that was in front of us. I don't think we fare as well because it just wasn't, we didn't have the team yet. We didn't have the chemistry. Everything hadn't been put together yet. So it wasn't a bad year in my opinion. Did we not hit some goals that we thought we would? Of course. Every year we think we're supposed to win the Natty, but we just Just didn't happen. So that kind of opens the door for conversation. And I don't want to close this discussion. This is the introduction to this discussion. I just wanted to highlight the staff. This is a new dynasty, in my opinion. This looks like a start of a new dynasty. I look at what Kane Womack, Ryan Grubb, Kalen DeBoer bring to the table. I have a lot of, with the level of understanding that we step into this with age and being a Bama fan my whole life and seeing things transpire from two sides, a fan side, and then being a reporter and then being an insider. Like, I've seen some things transpire over the years, and now I look at this team. I look at the University of Alabama football program and how they're consistently staying in the forefront of the competition, with the competition. And it's consistent, chat. It's consistent. It's consistent. Coach KD will get a national championship at Bama before Saban did. You think so? That means he has to do it this year. Saban did it year 3. That means he has to do it this year. The landscape of college football is different. It's different. Shout out to the 1.3K likes over there on TikTok, man. Y'all tapping in. Ties versus the world. Jason, I see you. Nuevo Stella, I see you. Appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. Jonathan Allen too. What about John? Oh yeah, Jonathan Allen was in that class. Yeah, he was talking about that recruiting class. I remember. Yeah, he was in that first Saban full recruiting class. And that's the thing. We also got to remember, Kalen DeBoer now has the full staff he wants or would like to have. He gets his play caller back on offense. He gets his QB coach back in the room developing quarterbacks and Nick Sheridan, somebody who was very intricate in Michael Penix's development. I'm telling you right now, Alabama's poised for a great run under Coach Kalen DeBoer. Whether that's 5 years, whether that's 8 years, whether it's 15 years. Kalen DeBoer, with this current staff and this mindset and this philosophy of how he's going to operate this organization, I think he's setting it up to be a quality program again, to remain at the top of college football and be dominant. I truly believe that. Not from my fandom. I just look at what's happening at Georgia, how they're falling apart. They don't seem to want to let go of Mike Bobo. That's a kryptonite for them. That's their Achilles heel. That offense is not going to be able to carry a struggling defense to a national championship like Coach Saban was able to do with Lane Kiffin and Steve Sarkisian during their tenured full seasons as offense coordinators. Kirby is stepping into an era of college football where his defense can't win the games for him. And he needs to, until he gets a coordinator that's going to see that and understand and know how to scheme it up to I guess enhance what Kirby wants to do with the defense. They're going to continue to underachieve. Georgia's going to continue to be loud with no results. And people, take it back to back. You did it at the perfect time. College football was going through the biggest change it has seen in almost 2 decades. And you just so happen to have one of the most talented rosters, young rosters in the country. And it looked attractive to us, a few more pieces, and he was able to bring them in. Hey, you capitalized. You learned from the GOAT. What's up, Sully? How you feeling this morning? We feeling good. I'm feeling good. Appreciate everybody for tapping in, though, y'all. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. And I want to know, y'all, and we got some results for the poll in the chat. Shout out to 35 on YouTube. We got 78% say Kane Womack is the new version of Kirby Smart. He's our Saban Kirby. Kane Womack is our Saban Kirby. I truly believe it. I think the defense is going to be top 3 this year. I think offense will be a top 10. Statistically, top 10. Not necessarily. Statistically, I think they'll be top 10. But as far as a team that you don't want to play against, Alabama's offense will be the one that you really don't want to deal with. Coordinators will not want to deal with. I think we'll be top 3 in passing touchdowns. I think we'll be top 3 in yard per carry average, something that Dylan Johnson led the country in for 6 weeks under Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb at Washington. Led the country in yards per carry average. I think he was 40 carries behind the leader in the country with total carries. Wait, what makes you think? What makes you say that? Wait, he ain't Kirby yet. Cause that makes me want to go in and do a little T chart and debate. And here on the last 5 minutes, we just kind of talking, y'all. What makes you think that? I'm curious. I'm curious to make you. What makes you think he's not as good as Kirby yet? Cause I saw a Kane Womack defense year one with a whole new group of personnel go out and basically dismantle a Georgia offense that had been averaging like 48 points coming into week 4. And then I seen the same defense go and get ran all over by Vandy. And then the following week just completely turn around. We saw a defense shut down Oklahoma. I remember that game. It was 21-3 or 24-3, whatever the score was. We had 3 offensive turnovers. We had 3 turnovers on offense. That game was nowhere near the defense fault. Even the Michigan game at the end of the year. Statistically, I would be willing to go in and bet that Kane Womack's defensive coordinator production numbers as a defensive play caller are around about the same at every other stop he's been to. They're around about the same as what Kirby Smart's numbers were while he was at Bama. Jason said we couldn't stop the run. Oh, we could have stopped the run if dudes make tackles. That had nothing to do with scheme. How many broken tackles y'all had that game, Jason? Talk about it. That had nothing to do with play calling. Straight effort and lack of execution. Nothing to do with play calling. Jason Carson, can Alabama football land top 2026 in-state prospect where Tide stands for 5-star linebacker Anthony Jones? We're doing a recruiting segment on Thursday. We do recruiting on Thursday. I don't put all my recruiting information on live anymore. I have confirmation, and I'm gonna say this. I don't care. I already seen Tony Sakalis creeping on my page, but I have confirmation that from somebody inside their organization. I have confirmation that Bama Online and another outlet. I'm gonna make sure I get the confirmation about the other outlet, but Bama Online has definitely been resourcing some of my my information and conversations and stuff like that, trying to basically not necessarily use my name, but they've been, and there's no need to when you have a brand that's as established as theirs, which is kind of confusing to me. But I guess when you see a new wave or somebody catching wind, you kind of want to try to backdoor it. But I'm grateful for some solid connections with the recruits. I'm grateful for the connections with the staff at the University of Alabama that isn't too fond of the media, wasn't too fond of the media coming into Alabama. And you can start kind of seeing it change up a lot, with how they provided access. I'm trying to spearhead them being comfortable with media being around and trusting the media to put out the best perspective for the players, whether it's bad or good, right? The best way to present it, to deliver it, and I'm trying to spearhead that. So we're going to keep stepping on toes, but if you want to really know about recruiting, Jason Crossing, I would encourage you to get a wristband. AAA family, if you got a wristband right now, run the chat up with the emoji so he can so y'all can show him what he missing out on. Y'all can show him what he missing out on. And if you're on TikTok watching still and you haven't came over to YouTube and checked in, you're really tripping. Roll Tide, Spencer. You're really tripping because you're not getting the full effect of the show. You're not being able to see all the other Bama fans that want to hear and talk just like you. So definitely take a chance to come over to YouTube at Coach Smook on all platforms. But right now we're live on YouTube. Come tap in, subscribe. That way next time we go live, you can be interactive with the rest of the AAA family. I know the AAA family is looking to have you in the chat. You see them running up the chat. You see all those I don't know why the chat won't give me my icons, but they're putting emojis on the screen for y'all. If you're in the actual YouTube chat, you see it. AAA family showing mad love, going crazy. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all been showing out for real. Y'all really have. And Oh, also, any birthdays for the month of April before we end, because y'all know once May hit, I don't care about nobody else's birthday but mine. Unless unless your birthday in May, I don't care. We got May 19th coming up. Y'all definitely gotta be ready, man. I'm gonna do a stream and everything, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. B-Day stream coming up. Y'all remember last year we did one? Man, y'all, and this year, you know, I hope we have some of the same results, because I ain't gonna lie, that really helped me out last year. I was in a tough spot last year for my birthday. I was in a tough spot last year during this transition. A lot of you all know my story, right? Let me go to the podium. Let's go to the podium since we ended the show. If y'all enjoyed that show, put some fire emojis in the chat. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There we go. We back in it. All right. So, what we got? I was about to put something on the screen for y'all. All right. So, I can't find it. So, closing out the show. Don't forget, remember, red letter, white letter lineup, Coach Smook merch. Go check it out. Links are always going to be in descriptions on all the socials. If you can't find it, it's on the, if you can't find it in the live, go to the main pages on all the socials. You'll find all the descriptions under our link tree. That's the merch. Red letter, white letter lineup, Coach Smook Network merch. We got your membership. The join link is there, right? You get the link to all my socials: TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram is what we're pushing as far as our content. Also, I want to invite you all to support us. And if you're a gamer and you're on NCAA 25, we're going to do our first initial tournament. We're going to do it May 21st will be the first night. We'll do an open lobby, basically an open lobby where we'll have everybody that wants to play. They'll come in. It'll be like a round robin showcase type thing. Whole bunch of people just come in, random matchups. I'll select matchups. We'll watch some. I'll play against a few people. All that good stuff. So why do I have two lower thirds out here? Okay, there we go. Too much going on. So with that being said, that's that. Then we also have our what is it? We have our, what is it, chat? I don't even know how to say it without telling. We got an announcement to make. It's gonna be cool. We're gonna have a special guest come on the show this week. We were supposed to have a lineup, but everybody's doing something this week. So if we get a random check-in, I'll go and record it and I'll post it. But outside of that, y'all continue to support the content here on each platform. If wherever you're watching me from, continue to support the content on each platform and support, man. Support. I appreciate everybody. Listen, all my people out there, we gotta get at least a minute of pettiness. Everybody that's out there searching and lurking and getting clips for me, we are going to have a epic clapback session when the season starts. We are going to have a crazy clapback session. Everybody that was been going crazy when the season starts, I'm putting together a long edit and I'm gonna post it. I'm not even gonna do it live when I post it, but it's gonna be some faces, and I don't care. Come at me for defamation of character, whatever you want. Cause I've been, AAA family, have I not been being chill? Have I not been publicly asking everybody to chill out? Have I not? But you got some people that don't think they doo-doo stink. So we just gonna open the bathroom door and let everybody in the house smell how bad Joe's junk stink. All right? Well, that's what we're gonna do. Just to get you away from me. I just don't want you bothering me. You don't have to come and watch my show. You don't have to do none of that. Right? I've been telling people to leave me alone, and they don't want to leave me alone. So yeah, Rico, I'm gonna do it, man. I got to. I know everybody been waiting for me to do it too. Y'all probably been wondering what's wrong with me. Y'all think something wrong with me because I ain't been clapping back at folks like I used to? Nah, it's just you learn, you live and you learn, right? It's a certain way to do everything. And I'm really Jason, what you laugh for? I'm for real, chat. I'm really gonna hurt some feelings with this. I'm really gonna hurt some feelings. And y'all know when I'm cool with being patient about something, it's dangerous. Man, you give me time and I'm cool with taking my time. Y'all know I'm a sporadic person. You let me get cool with taking my time to do something, Oh, Lordy. Deborah, tell him I've been doing real good. Y'all remember last year, man, when everything went down with BF? Oh, why? Y'all remember I was on a tear. And then when Kangaroo Black called himself calling me, I went on a tear again after that. It's about to happen again. I think it happens in seasons. I had to adjust this scene. Y'all like my podium? See? What y'all think? I like this. I like this. See, y'all better enjoy this, because when we sign the contract, I can't do this no more. I don't necessarily have control of the shoulder where I could kick it with y'all like this. Greg said I've been good. You know, hey, so I know I've been good when Deborah and Greg both, Missouri Tech, what's good, family? Appreciate you for tapping in. Missouri Tech Mavericks football. I would love to collab with you. Are you really a representative for that's a JUCO, right? All JUCO personalities, personnel, analysts, coaches, not just JUCO, any college, high school, little league, any coaches, anybody that works with athletics. I'm trying to network with you. I don't care what level it is. You don't have to be famous. I want whenever I go to South Carolina, I want to be able to call somebody, hey, what's happening this week in basketball? What's happening in football? What's happening in this? Where I need to go to find the next big thing? What you got? Right? Gotham City press conference. Oh, Jason, you a hater, bro. You a hater. You know what, Jason? I'm gonna take my hat off for this one. I'm gonna take my hat off for this one. That's my new one. I'm gonna keep it a buck. That's my enemy right now. I ain't gonna lie. That's my enemy. I don't usually publicly establish, but I have one enemy right now in this content creation world, and I'm going to continue to take multiple on him and his crew. I want to see him. I want a conversation. But they act like they want something else. And I'm ignorant sometimes. Tell them, TP. Tell the truth, Shane the Devil. You know I'm gonna tell the truth. I ain't got no reason to lie. I've never gotten anywhere in my life lying. I'm changing the game for Dynasty and NCAA and bringing some real immersion. It's a Dynasty team you made. Okay. I didn't know if it was a JUCO. My guy. So you're a content creator. Welcome to the show, though. If you want to learn about some college football, you interact with college football, things of that nature, tap in on my YouTube channel. At Coach Smook. Subscribe over there. We're on the road to 3K. We're growing our brand. And I think that's it for everybody. I think that's it for today. Where we at? 1 hour and 7. Perfect. Gotta stay, man. Y'all ain't gotta tell me. I know I've been on it. For real. I put myself on the schedule, chat, and I stayed on it. Like, some people want money. They want to see a big check signed to see their growth. Me, I'm on a schedule, and I stuck to it. So, with that being said, I thank everybody for being here today, man. It's been a vibe. It's been a great time. As always, y'all know it's going to always be fun when you tap into the Coach Smook Network. All right, always going to be fun when you tap into the Coach Smook Network. Whether we got some controversy, whether we got some breaking news, something we're going to try to create. Oh yeah, Mary J. Oh man. But with that being said, remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me and say, "Put me in the game, Coach Smook." I'll catch y'all on the next one. Roll Tide, SOS, AAA, y'all the best. Much love, y'all.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the
TikTok, appreciate y'all for being here.